here, we're gonna have a great time doing it. So we're gonna wait for our gauge. I got it where I wanted at 35 psi. Now this may be a little high. Good afternoon, Defiant Jeep, and welcome to another episode. Today we're actually working on a couple projects, so if you notice that Defiant is backed in, that's for the other thing I'm going to be working on a little bit later today. But right now, let's talk about cosmetics, and we're talking about facelift. Now, the Jeep itself, we've known it for many years to have this wonderful, beloved 7-slot grille, but sometimes you want to change it up. And no disrespect to the 7 slots, but there are other exciting neat looking other grills out there that are like, wow, this will really change the personality of my Jeep. We're not taking away from the 7 slots, always going to love the 7 slots, but maybe it's time for a change, not an upgrade, which is going to change it up a little bit. So this is what we're going to be working with today. Let me go ahead and take this out of the box. And this wonderful bubble wrap right here. We've got this grill. Now we're going to go ahead and be working with this, a little bit more of a modern touch. First, let's take a look at the holes where the headlights go. Not necessarily an angry grill, but it does have a little bit of an eyebrow, but not angry. And of course, we're going to maintain with a little sci-fi here with a little bit of a Darth Vader kind of look. And we have these 5 LEDs to give Defiant, who is a 2017 JK, a little bit more of a modern look. But first we need to prep this thing. What we're going to do is we're going to remove some of these fixtures here to maintain what we want to keep in its natural state. Like these lights, we're going to remove them so they don't get damaged during the prep. This main grill, we're going to remove that as well. And all the other areas that I want to keep black, we're going to tape off so that we can actually paint this grill. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole process of finding a body shop and have them prep it and find the exact color match to Gobi, which is the color of Defiant. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this myself really quick. Shouldn't look that bad. I mean, I'm not looking to win any car shows, but it is gonna be a different look. So let's go ahead and get this prepared, and then we're gonna start to disassemble this, and then we'll show you the product when it's ready to paint. Alrighty, so what I did is I got myself a table, and I went ahead, I put the grill, of course, face down, but I am using the bubble wrap as kind of a little bit of a protection for the surface, since that will be the outside. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to remove these 5 LED lights from the grill, and that's just to protect them from the paint. And I'm going to do that also to the main grill. And I went in, I prepared myself a little bit, and I got some extra baggies for the different hardware. Or I can use this magnetic dish to put all the hardware in. So we're looking at, let's do the main grill first, because that seems to be pretty easy. That's a number 2, which is a very common screwdriver. Let's grab a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, and let's just drive these out. Now it would be a whole lot easier to do this if you had a power drill, electric drill, some kind of screw gun, but I am for the most part dealing with plastic, and I really don't want to booger it up. I mean, these grills are not cheap, they're not stupid expensive, but it's like, why do you want to buy the same thing twice, you know what I mean? Just because you were careless when you try to prep. So, and that's okay. So while I'm this, let me talk to you about the grill for a second. Now, the history of the 7-slot grill is kind of complex. It all started back during World War II. Now there was 3 auto manufacturers that were contracted to make a prototype for the Jeep for the Army. There was Ford, there was Willis, and there was another company called Bantam. Now, Ford made the GP, the 2 letters GP for their Jeep, and that actually stood for general purpose. Willis made the MB. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what the MB stood for. You know, and then there was the Bantam, which I can't even recall what they called their Jeep, whatever letter number designation. But Willis won the war as far as who got the contract. Yay, Willis! That's how we know the Willis name that came down in history as the Willis Jeep. Of course, Willis Auto Manufacturer, they made other vehicles besides the Jeep, but they are very well known for their Jeep. Okay, so moving forward, the grill is very iconic because you could not reproduce anybody else's because it's trademarked or copyrighted or some kind of like licensed product, you know, intellectual property, if you will. So Ford's GP had a very similar grill, but they had 9 slots. I think the Bantam may have had 11, not sure. But Willis didn't really have one. It probably had like chicken wire for all I know. But Willis had to make a grill. So they decided, let's take a look at Ford's. We're going to make it very, very similar, but enough to keep us out of legal trouble. So what they did is they took that 9 slot, removed 2 of the slots, and made a 7 slot grill. As of 1945, the 7 slot grill was in existence. Now there's a couple myths about the 7 slots and how they came around. That story I did find online, so I'm kind of hoping that's accurate. There is another myth that each slot represents every continent on the planet, and it is said that Jeep is the only auto manufacturer that's had a presence in every continent on the globe. That one, I'm still going to chalk it down as a myth, to me yet to be proven, but it's a very good story. I haven't found any evidence to solidify the statement. By the way, the main grill has been removed. We're going to go ahead and put this to a side because we're going to keep this totally black the way it is. We're not going to put this in harm's way of paint. We're going to leave it be the way it is. We're kind of digging it. It is got the kind of like Darth Vader like slots. And it's got a nice honeycomb grill right here. Still does not interfere with any of the airflow. Very good looking. I'm gonna really enjoy this. All right, so I'm gonna put this down somewhere. I'm gonna put it right here for right now, and then I will not drop it. I'm gonna put it face up so I don't scratch it in any way. Alrighty, so now I am ready to remove the 5 LED lights. Can I get away with a number 2, or do I gotta go smaller? I think I can get away with a number 2, and this will be quick. It's only 10 of these smaller screws. Oh, that's nice. The sheet metal screw with the integral washer. Very nice. This is gonna be easy. So let me just go ahead and knock these out. There we go. Okay, so all 10 screws are out. Now let's take a look at these lights real quick. I'm just gonna carefully pull one out, maintain its orientation. It looks to be symmetrical in every direction, up, down, left, right. The connector is right in the center. It is a basic 2-wire, a red positive and a black negative. And what's that's just glue and a cool little 2-prong connector right there. Now, before I move forward, well, let me go ahead and at least remove these lights here. I'm just going to take them out of where they're sitting, and they're just sitting there. They're not really held on by anything. So the package came with a daisy chain, a prefabricated daisy chain. Now I'm going to grab one of these lights. I'm going to show it to you real quick. So These lights are super simple. See that? They're the same in every direction, even the back. Now the back's got this connector. This right here is just the quick connect. So the daisy chain that it came with is so long, maybe 50% longer than the grill itself. I'm gonna take all 5 of these connectors, plug them into each part of the daisy chain, and at the end of the daisy chain, it's just a single red and a single black to power them all simultaneously or at the same time. Okay, and of course, it came with a replacement weather stripping that goes across the top right here. So instead of having to try and peel off the one that it's on the Jeep already on the factory 7-slot grill, we're gonna bypass that, and we're just going to, oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, I'm just gonna protect and tape over everything that does not need to be painted, and I am gonna take advantage of the weather stripping that they provided. So let me grab my baggie. Here we go. That's the baggie I got. Let's go ahead and it came with instructions too. Oh, you know what? I did forget to mention that. Here's the daisy chain, by the way, that it came with, and it also comes with those plastic nuts that go on the top over here. Those little push pins. Comes with a new replacement of those. Got about 6 of those, and for right here, there are these little push type clips. You got new instead of having to reuse the ones from the grill, and of course, it already has the provisions for the blinkers. So this is like super groovy. So let's just go ahead and push these lights away. I'm just gonna keep them all together, and I'm gonna put them in a safe spot so we don't lose them. This is gonna be awesome. Let's put those away, and just in case I need those, I won't lose them. Put them on the baggie. So I'm gonna put these on the top tray of my toolbox. In case I get all nutty, y'all can let me know. Hey Steve, they're on the top of your toolbox. All right here. Wonderful. And I got all the fasteners in my magnetic dish. These are not gonna get lost. I have a safe spot for these, which is gonna be right there. Perfect. And they're not gonna tip, and they're on a magnetic surface, so they're pretty solid. Okay, right on. So I am going to move the main grill. I am gonna flip the actual grill, and then we're gonna start the prep. Let me just go ahead and put this away, and then we're gonna get started again one more time with the prepping. Alrighty, we are all prepared and ready to start masking. Now you're gonna notice that the way that I'm looking at the grill, to my perspective or my position, it is upside down, and I've done that on purpose. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna mask around the headlight area, the center where the LEDs go, and of course the other headlight area. And on top, I'm gonna mask this really groovy looking design over here that has the same Darth Vader like grills. So I'm gonna keep that matching to the main grill from the center. So I'm gonna cover this up. I have to be tactful on how I'm gonna do that one. But let's go ahead and knock out the centerpiece first. I think that one's gonna do me well. I just have to be real meticulous on how I tape this. So of course I'm gonna take my time and try and get it all masked up right and proper. We'll want to make sure all that the masking is tight, so that there is no what's the word, like drain or bleed. I just want to keep it nice straight lines. So of course, to you this is going to be a time lapse. I'm going to fast forward the whole thing, and you're just going to watch me zip and tape it real quick. Me, I am going to be here for a little while. So I hope you enjoy. Alrighty, so my masking is about done. Let's take a look at the end product over here. If I could just show that to you. I went ahead off and used the blue painter's tape. So everywhere that is taped in blue or covered in blue, that's the area that's going to be protected and that's going to remain black. Everything that is currently exposed, I'm going to paint it a desert sand like color as close as I can possibly get to Defiant's Gobi. You know, I can't find an exact match without spending an arm and a leg at the dealer for a 5-ounce can of spray paint. I don't think that's economically sound for me. But when I painted the inner fender liners, I'm going to use that same paint because it's very, very close. So I'm going to go with that. So let me go ahead and let me put this down for a second. All right, everything is all good. I'm actually going to go ahead and take a break because I spent a lot of time on this. It really requires a lot of patience just to sit here and tape off all of these edges and making sure that all the tape sticks and you get a good seal. You want to make sure everything's good because you want straight lines. You don't want any bleeding or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up this area. I am going to move this table. I'm going to prepare a place right there in the driveway where I can paint. I'm going to move Defiant out of the way a little bit. And that's really it. But honestly, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to catch me a drink, fresh air, play with my dog for a second. I'll be right back. Alrighty, definitely back from my break. I hope you had a nice break yourself. I didn't realize that, my God, all that taping and prepping took me just a little over an hour, like an hour and a minute and whatever, or maybe an hour and 2 minutes. But yeah, it was a long time. So, thank goodness for the time lapse, and I was just able to fast forward all that boring business of just watching me tape off of all the areas I want to protect. But now we're ready. I got the grill out in the sun in an open area. I got as much space as I can. I believe the Defiant's in a good spot. He's not going to get any overspray. So all I need to do is, here we go. Got this can from Walmart of all places. It's a Rust-Oleum 2x ultra cover. It's a paint and a primer all in one can. And this is not flat like I did the inner fenders. This is more of a satin, which is nice because that black plastic, how it comes raw, is not shiny gloss anyways. So this just may do the trick. So let me go ahead and I am going to go ahead and agitate this can for about a minute or so, just to get a good mix out of it. Want to make sure it gets a nice blend going on, and then we'll start to spray. Alrighty, so at this point right here, I got the grill all painted. Of course, you saw that. I am gonna let it settle and dry. I'm sure I missed a couple spots. I'll give it another coat in a few hours or tomorrow, depending on the sun and time treats me. It is, I don't know, probably somewhere near 3 o'clock here in Vegas. We're still on standard daylight time, so the sun will be going down soon, about 4:30, 5 o'clock. I don't have a lot of time left over, and I still got, other chores and responsibilities to handle and maintain. So I am going to go ahead and put this in a nice area where it would be undisturbed, let it dry. I'll look at it again, like I said, in a few hours or tomorrow. If it needs another coat, I'll just hit it with another coat. But all right, hang in there. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's going to look great.